friends, it's Kelly here with Kelly Crafts It All. I'm going to do a tutorial today on a request that I had a while ago, and I'm just finally getting to this tutorial of how I make my Pokey tools. So I thought I'd bring to you today how I put mine together. It's pretty straightforward and simple. You can use whatever you want, any beads that you want. This one was made for me in a swap, and I use it all the time. And this one was made with one of those big, I think they're upholstery needles. If I can find them on Amazon or whatever, I'll link these ones for you. Now the ones I'm using came in, I think, a 12-pack, and they were like $6. And these are cocktail stirrers, but they do have a pointy end. I don't think it's as sharp as the needle, so if you're looking for something really sharp on the end, you might want to use those. This I use more or less like to just poke paper out, you know, like if you run it through a die and you need to poke up some paper out. If I have used my Cricut and there's intricate cuts and I've got little pieces still stuck in there, you know, I'll just go in there and kind of use my Pokey tool and poke them out. Beads, it can be whatever beads you want. These are the beads that I have. I got these, can't remember if I think I got these at Hobby Lobby or Joint Fabric. Someone had them on sale, and I grabbed these. Like, they were on really cheap on sale. They were like $2 a pop, so I bought like 3 different ones. So, you know, you can do them however you want. You just put them on, whatever you want. If you have spacer beads or fancy beads that you have that you want to put in there, you can. I don't really have any fancy stuff. You know, I thought I would get more into beading, but beading just is not my thing. I don't mind doing it, but it's not my favorite. So, like, if I went ahead and put all my beads on, so I have them rolling all over my desk. But, you know, you have to see what fits. Now, this probably won't fit on here. I'm not sure. Yeah, no, that's too small. But, you know, if you have some pretty spacers you could put in there, you can. You know, any kind of bead that will fit on your skewer. I just, you know, find the hole and put them on there. Now, like, the one that was sent to me, she used these really pretty gold spacers in between each one. Started one on the top. Okay, so, you know, you can do it however you want to do it. But once I get all my beads where, you know, well, before I even do that, I'm just going to use this little plastic cup to put my beads in, because I forgot to do a step. This piece here is just a little sequin that kind of fit on there, and that's how I hold my beads on there so that they don't fall off. But if I'm going to make a dangle on my on here, I will put a piece of chain on there first. So, like, I have this chain here. I'll try to link it below. This was back when BB Crafts had a really good deal on shipping and stuff, and now they've changed their prices. You know, like, everything's gone up. So I don't know what their shipping is now. I haven't ordered from them for ages and ages. But I just have this chain. It doesn't have any name on it. It doesn't have any sizes. It's just chain. But I'll use a piece of this. Now, like, on hers, she used a jump ring and went right through the eye of that needle. So the needles are kind of good, or kind of neat. I'm going to order some, and I keep forgetting about them until I go to make a Pokey tool. I'm like, I keep forgetting to order those. So, you know, you use how much chain ever you want. Just, I mean, I use about 5 or 6 links. I don't want it dangling too much in the way. I mean, it's pretty, but trying to keep it useful as well. And my chain is hooked together by links that come apart if I twist one. Some you might have to cut. And mine just comes apart like that. And I just discard that. So I have this piece of chain here. So I probably have like 5 links on it. And I'll just slip this on here. Like so. Then I'll start putting my beads on. Like I said, you can put, you know, whatever you have. I did have some. Pretty gold. See, these are gold and I'm using silver, so it's probably not going to look right, but you can use these bead caps. Now see, mine don't fit. It's too small. The cap is too small. So, but yeah, if you had, you know, bigger ones, you probably could use them. We're just going to go with what we have here, so I'm not going to fool around. So, you know, just go ahead and put my beads on however I see fit. Let's see. Just trying to keep them to where they're not rolling around all over, but that's not going to work either. I don't have any rhyme or reason to beading. I just do what I see fit. And I don't like to go all the way down. I've got, you know, I've seen them on YouTube where people are making them and they take these beads and put them clear down to the end. Well, these aren't on here very good. It's not like you can get them to screw on or really glue on real good. I mean, even the one that I was sent, I went to push down and the bead popped off. So I had, well, actually the bead broke. It was, I think, a glass bead, and it broke, and I had to glue another one on. So, you know, because if you're trying to push, you're pushing down on those. So you got to be, you know, kind of careful. And then, like I said, I just have this little clear piece of sequin that I use to hold my beads on there while I'm trying to work. Then you can use whatever you want to glue it with. I like the glossy accents or super glue are the two things that I like to use. I have some, this is just some, you know, nail glue, but it works the same. So you've got to make sure you got your beads where you want them. And then I have that little piece of sequin there. And you just have to be really super careful not to glue it to your fingers. And I try to stay up as close to the bead because you have to watch with some of these, you know, synthetic plastic beads. The super glue will eat the finish off and leave you with this white bead. It'll take the pearl color right off. And I don't know if this is even going to work. Yeah, it's going to. And I just try to keep it as close to that bead as I can. Trying to get a drop of glue down in there. And now see, I have had that pushed up, so now my super glue is way down here and my beads are way back here. And I'm going to use that sequin to push that down. And then, you know, I'll just go in there with some fine tip scissors and trim that sequin off. I won't even take it off. Sometimes if you have a clip, like I have these clips from the Dollar Tree, I will put one on and push it up as tight as I can get it, and then I'll just let that sit and dry. So you gotta make sure if you're using your super glue, you get it down in that bead. And then, you know, I'll just go in there with some fine tip scissors and trim that sequin off. I won't even take it off. Sometimes if you have a clip, like I have these clips from the Dollar Tree, I will put one on and push it up as tight as I can get it, and then I'll just let that sit and dry. So you gotta make sure if you're using your super glue, you get it down in that bead. But like I said, I just have that little piece of sequin there. And then I can go in there with some scissors and I can trim it up. Don't mind my scissors, I was cutting something apparently that had red paint on it. Yep, so I would just go in there and trim up that sequin as best as I can. But I don't want to do it right now because it's still wet. I'm going to put that clip on and push it all the way up. And I'll just leave it there to dry. So now I have my chain and I can, you know, do whatever I want to do with it. You can hang charms, you can hang beads, you can make beads. I just sat and doodled around and made up some beads. Now I am not an experienced beader, still new at this, so any kind of wire wrapping or bead making, please don't ask me to show you, because there's a million and one videos out there to where they show you how to make beads. So like I did these ones, and these are have a little sequins with the bead, Soleil on YouTube. I'll link everybody. If I mention anybody on YouTube, I always link them down below, so always check my description box. Soleil gave the idea of stacking up sequins and using them as beads. These were just some bead or some sequins that I had that I got in a swap, and I just did some funky wire wrap and folded in half and made a dangle out of it. So then you'll need some jump rings. They're easy to find. You can get them at any craft store pretty much. Even Walmart has them over there in their jewelry section. So you'll need a jump ring, and I just take my jump ring and I have mine open. Most of the time they're closed when you get them. And I just loop it through my bead. And then I just decide where I want it. You have to decide where you like them. And then to close them, it's a twisting motion. You don't prime apart, you twist them back and forth. Now, these jump rings are kind of funky because I had to make some. Because I ran out of jump rings. And it is way cold outside. And I wasn't going anywhere near Walmart yet today, or right now. It's early in the morning. It's like 6 a.m. I'm not heading to Walmart right now. Don't even know if I'll be going near there today. So I said, well, so I can get this video out, I'll just make my own. Squeeze it together there. So I have that little chain there. Let's see, I have this little heart charm. This charm was gold. Didn't like it gold because I have silver. So I took a Sharpie marker, alcohol marker, and colored it myself. And it will stay on. It doesn't come, you know, it won't rub off real easy. Sure, over time it might. But you could always spray it with some clear coat or rub it, you know. Make sure it stays. It's up to you how you want to do it. So you just gotta decide where you want to go with that. Let's see, what else do I have here? So these are the jump rings. Now, when you get them, most times they're closed like this. So I just use my finger. But if you have really stiff ones, you might have to get 2 sets of pliers. Do this, and then you twist one. Just twist one hand towards you or away from you, whatever is your preference. And then you just got to decide what you like and what you don't like. Where do your beads fit good? So I have that little bit on there. Let's see. Maybe I'll use this one here. I don't know. Since I did my own jump rings, some of these don't fit real tight together, so I have to kind of play with them and squeeze them a little bit. This one's just for me. So there, that's that. And then I'll, you know, make sure I sit and let this dry real good. And, you know, mine's on there pretty good. Well, it was on there pretty good. So see, I moved it and now it slid off. So I'm going to make sure I'll set it down here and make sure I have this way down. And then I'll drop some more. I try to like run it down down the edge of the Pokey tool. You gotta watch, if you've got super glue, it might glue your clip to your thing, so you have to be real careful. So that is how I do my Pokey tools. You can get these. I get these on Amazon. Like I said, those are cocktail stirrers. Or Walmart had these on clearance. These are the turkey lacers. You know, what you use at Thanksgiving time to stitch up your turkey. They show you how to stitch it through the legs, you know, to tie it up to hold your stuff in, or your aromatics if you're shoving them in a chicken or a turkey. Only thing is it has this big gap that you have to close. And it's not that hard. Now these are very sharp, so be very, very careful. These are pointy, they're sharp. But these are really, they're like needles. I mean, they're sewing through turkey skin or chicken skin. So if it's going to go through that skin, it's going to go through yours. And I just take my flat nose pliers and I just squeeze it. Until it just almost overlaps and touches. And make sure I get it pretty good and tight right there. Then if you need to, you can even take this side and kind of like bend it to straighten up that hole a little bit. And you can use these as well. Now those you can use, you know, the little things, like I can fit these on here now if I wanted to make, you know, something a little more fancy, and I had the little spacers. So you just, you know, you have your beads. Well, if I can see it, like so. And then if you have some fancy smanchy spacers, you can use those. And, you know, ouch. Like I said, be careful. It pokes pretty good. Now, what they're doing to cover that pokey thing up is you get the for pierced ears, the plastic, the clear backs to them. Or you can do like I do, and I just make mine out of hot glue. But you would just continue to add your beads on, do the same thing, drop some super glue in there, some glossy accents, and do that. Now, I have my glue gun over here, and I have it on a piece of parchment paper. And what I'll do is, you know, I always get these little tiny blobs of glue. Sometimes I'll get some really good ones, and I'm like, oh, I can use that for that. Or I'll just make my own, and I'll just take a glob of glue and let her drop and she'll round out, and I'll let that cool a minute. Okay, let's see if this is cool enough. Yeah, it's still pretty wet and pretty warm, but then I'll just take a smaller one and put it right on top of it after that one's cooled a bit. So it's not mounding very good. Well, I guess it's doing alright. And I'll let that cool down a little bit. And then once it hardens, you know, pretty hard, I'll just take my little skewer and stick it down in it. And then back up a little bit. And if this was cold, it would pop off, and then it'd be on, you know, be on there. But this is still pretty warm, and it's taking it a minute to cool. There it goes. And I just leave it sit there till it hardens up, because it'll pull right off of that metal. It's not gonna stay on there. And then you can get rid of your glue strings. And then, you know, same thing again. Put your super glue, whatnot, and I love these little clips. And then I would just set it like that and let that dry, cool. Now you can put your beads as far down as you want. I'm just showing you what, that you can use these little turkey lacers. And that's what I use now. See, this is cool now, and I just pull it off. And now I have a point protector for my thing so it doesn't poke me. And then you can use it for this one as well. It'll fit just like that. Don't push it too far, you'll poke right through it. So, but I mean, it protects the end of it. You know, if you're gonna send this in the mail, it'll in that, or for yourself, if you don't want to poke yourself all the time. Now mine sits in a glass, and it's poked down, and I don't have any problems with it. But that is it, guys. That is how I make my Pokey tools, and how I put them together, and yeah, that's it. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know, search on YouTube, look up Pokey tools, and there's all kinds of tutorials out there if I don't explain something well enough, because this is not my forte. I will tell you, I'm not a beader by any means. I got into it to do the glue topper stoppers. And these things that go in your glue. And that was the main reason I did it, because I kept losing my needle all the time. So I wanted to make something that I would see on my desk, because the needles would just look like a sewing, you know, a safe or straight pin, and I would swipe them into the trash and everything else. So yeah, so yep, that's it, guys. If you have any, like I said, any questions, comments, or concerns, leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer as best as I can. And I hope this was helpful to those who needed it. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. And remember, y'all take care. Stay safe out there. Remember, I love each and every one of you. I want to say thank you to my new subscribers. And thank you to my subscribers that have been there since the beginning and through time. So, I appreciate y'all so very much. You don't realize how much I appreciate you, and that I thank you. And I know I don't say it often enough, and I should. And, you know, I just appreciate everyone, and I love the comments. I love to read the comments, and sometimes I can't answer them because my reply button's not working at the moment, and it'll be 2 weeks, and then I'll finally be able to answer you. So, you know, if I don't answer you, I do read your comments. So, alright guys, see you in the next one. Bye.